The YNW Melly trial has already taken a wild turn. Here's what you need to know. The trial started normal, as we would see reports of YNW Melly seen smiling in good spirits in court today as his trial starts. However, the mood would quickly change as we would then see reports of YNW Bortlen had powder residue on his hands and a change of clothing when he dropped off Sakchaser and Juvy to the hospital. YNW Bortlen and YNW Melly were the only two men in the vehicle with them, including this video of a lawyer breaking it down.
Emmons' lies, those were his lies. Bortlen Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar. You don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car with two bodies, car riddled with bullets. And when he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, powder residue on his hands, evidencing that he had discharged a firearm. And he lies. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having a phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody has a phone in his pocket, not Bortlen Henry. There were 3 phones.
Now this is revealing that YNW Bortlen actually lied to the feds when they were asking him on what happened to Sakchaser and Juvy on the night of their passings. Also, with YNW Bortlen bringing a change of clothes, it seems pretty obvious that he knew something was gonna happen. The interview with YNW Bortlen lying to the feds at the hospital was also shared in the courtroom.
And I'm driving, ducking for my life, trying to make sure I don't get hit. And you telling me, you telling me about some shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. I'm driving. I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna be worried about? You know what I'm saying?
I know it's not for you to worry about.
Shit crazy, bro.
But if you tell me it happened there's gotta be some evidence there. There's gonna be broken glass, just like there's broken glass over here from when you guys open the doors and stuff like that. Okay, there's gonna be broken glass over there when the windows got out. There's gonna be casings from the people at your car. Okay, there's gonna be evidence over there. Okay, right now, there's nothing. I kind of think I know what happened because I got information.
Shortly after, the famous rap lawyer would confirm that this was actually YNW Melly's attorney speaking about YNW Bortlen, mentioning in court that he lied to the feds.
And we have an absolute shell being dropped by the defense, a mic drop moment. The lead attorney on Melly's defense team telling the jury that Bortlen Henry lied to police when he showed up at Memorial Hospital that morning. He lied about what happened. He lied about not having a phone on him. That Bortlen Henry, this is according to Melly's attorney, that Bortlen Henry showed up at that hospital with a change of clothes on, and that Bortlen Henry showed up at that hospital with powder residue on his hands.
Now this would end up going viral on social media, leaving many to believe that YNW Melly is now trying to put this onto YNW Bortlen. In other words, snitching out on Bortlen. As why would YNW Melly's lawyer mention everything wrong about YNW Bortlen? As when YNW Melly's attorney was done speaking for his set, we would then see YNW Melly and his other attorney beginning to chat and also laugh inside of the courtroom.
Oh, Jana is Anthony's? What about Chris's?
Did it live here or in Barrel? The mom?
Who lives with you at 18521 Southwest 44th Street?
showing some very strange behavior. However, on to the next set of conversations, we would then see reports of prosecutors show video of YNW Melly hopping inside of the car that was involved in his friend's passings by sharing this footage.
Excuse me, you're able to see? Yes? All right.
That never-before-seen footage now confirms 100% that YNW Melly did get inside of the vehicle with Bortlen, Sakchaser, and Juvy. What we also learned was after the crime was committed, when YNW Bortlen and YNW Melly sat around for roughly 40 minutes before getting medical attention for YNW Juvy and YNW Sakchaser, we learned what Melly and Bortlen were doing for that 40 minutes. As it was also shared in the trial today, prosecutors say Fredo Bang picked up YNW Melly after the incident involving Juvy and Sakchaser.
And Chris Thomas are. So what you're also going to find out is while Mr. Devins is out there on the side of the road, 4 in the morning, 4:42 specifically, he sends a drop pin, digital homing beacon, to his current location to one of his friends, Frederick Givens. Frederick Givens is also involved in the music industry, and he asked to be picked up. Frederick Givens then, about 11 minutes later, is sent another drop pin where Mr. Devins has moved a couple of meters. What you're going to find out as well, though, is these digital leashes, they have more than just phone calls.
Now this reveals that YNW Melly, within that 40-minute time span, he was calling Fredo Bang asking for him to be picked up. This also reveals that YNW Bortlen would have used that time to change his clothing. As mentioned earlier, he brought an extra set of clothing with him on this night, for whatever reason. This answers the question of why YNW Melly was sprinting down the road on foot all by himself after the crime, leaving YNW Bortlen to bring Sakchaser and Juvy to the hospital himself. With all of this case-breaking evidence now being shared within the courtroom would then go into recess. This is when rap OG Boosie would react, walking down the hallway, sharing this on Instagram. After recess, we would then see announcements of judge lowers threshold for the penalty for YNW Melly if he is convicted by granting a motion to allow jurors to recommend the penalty sentence with an 8-2 vote instead of the usual 12-0 vote. Around 6 months ago, the entire rap world was celebrating the fact that the penalty was taken off of the table for Melly. First day of trial, the judge decides to put it back on and also make it really easy to happen. Then to follow it up in the new court papers, it was released this concerning information, as the headline of the new papers filed by YNW Melly's lawyer state, motion to request enforced discovery cutoff, with details stating, on or about April 10th, 2023, jury selection on this matter commenced. On April 14th, 2023, the state of Florida filed an 18-page report pertaining to forensic testing on the vehicle subject matter to this case. And then again on May 12th, 2023, the state of Florida filed supplemental discovery adding 3 new witnesses. Then again on May 12th, 2023, the state of Florida filed a 68-page report on the crash date system in the vehicle where Sakchaser and Juvy are believed to have been affected, alongside 2 additional supplemental reports authored by Detective Williams. This is all very concerning, and for context on what this truly means, right when the jury was selected and trial was set to begin, the feds slammed a 68-page report full of evidence on YNW Melly to the judge. Doing so, this now gives Melly's lawyers zero time to create defenses for Melly. A comment on this new report also went viral, and it gives a deeper meaning. This states, and I quote, "They are trying to make YNW Melly run out of money. They always do this to people that have reputable lawyers that cost a lot of money. You're not gonna beat the case if you cannot afford the good lawyer anymore. Melly's been having to pay for that extremely expensive lawyer for the last 5 years, and he hasn't been able to go out and just make more money. I don't think Melly's innocent, but he does deserve a fair trial." We would then see the trial go to recess once again. Once returning, we would then learn from a detective on the truth behind their passings. Finding the motive for YNW Melly to commit this crime was hard, but after months of research, they realized that days before the passing of Sakchaser and Juvy, YNW Sakchaser was caught messing around with Melly's at-the-time girlfriend. Now, the feds would go to Melly's ex-girlfriend and ask for a deposition. However, she did decline, stated that she wants nothing to do with this case and wants to be left alone. However, allegedly, her mother ends up having some arrest warrants. So the feds go to her and say, "We can help you with these crimes you've committed if you sit for a deposition." She would obviously accept the offer and sit with the feds. The police officer asks the ex-girlfriend's mom, "Were you aware that Sakchaser sent your daughter some rather special type of photos?" Where she responds, "Yes, I am." He asks, "You saw those photos?" She replies, "I didn't see them, but she called me, and then they came over. She was in Tallahassee during that time, and she told me about them." Now, this easily could be seen as a motive for YNW Melly to commit this act, as why would YNW Sakchaser do such a thing to Melly? However, then one more motive would pop up out of nowhere, as it was later revealed that Sakchaser was set to receive $200,000 from YNW Melly to be signed to his record label. However, just prior to Sakchaser getting offered this record deal, YNW Melly's mom would post this video online.
Show me text messages from Sakchaser, all her friends, and all these people. Like, he's about this life. But I'm saying, like, who you ever out at? What you ever did? You couldn't even take charge. If you don't sit your down and don't ever come for me, because my credentials is real. It ain't even a joke. So don't ever try to come for me, because I don't even play them type of games. Like, what you got that I ain't got? Oh, you your little, I got big. At the end of the day, Melly is my child.
This created a real mystery for law enforcement. Melly has stated many times that his mother is the most important thing in his life. If someone goes after her, there could be a real reason to retaliate. Now, the police needed to find answers on this, so they went directly to YNW Melly's record label, who offered Sakchaser the record deal. This record label, known as 300 Entertainment, ended up refusing to honor the subpoena that was delivered by the feds, which is pretty weird behavior from a multi-million-dollar company. The feds would then go on to ask YNW Sakchaser's mom, asking if she knew anything about a record deal or $200,000, realizing that she does. Jana Thompson, mother of YNW Sakchaser, would sit for a March 2022 deposition. Though she did specify she didn't know exactly who the alleged payment was from or what it was for, she did say that she knew something about $200,000. Now, she said that her son reached out to her a few days before he sadly passed. She says, "My son hysterically called me," she said. "He was very concerned about my whereabouts. He was concerned about his sister's whereabouts, and he just seemed concerned, like something is gonna happen to us. And then he told me that he would not get his money." She continued saying, "He said, I'm probably not gonna get my $200,000. I'm probably not even gonna get my money." Now, this would all raise major red flags in the YNW Melly case. However, it would also lead to another recess in the courtroom due to it being case-breaking evidence. Once returning back to the trial, it was allegedly asked by the judge to YNW Melly on why he tried breaking speaking at a jail. The Broward County Jail where YNW Melly is currently locked up did an interview with Complex, and they mentioned in the courtroom, on April 11th, 2022, Broward Sheriff's Office received a confidential tip regarding inmates Nicholas Lewis and Jamal Demons, both housed in the same unit at the main jail, planning an escape from jail by having Demons' attorney bring in 2 handcuff keys. Additional information provided by the source was that Lewis had an item that's illegal in jail, as well as narcotics that were not prescribed to him, as YNW Melly's mom would even react to this earlier on social media.
Okay, so I'm at work and I just seen this crazy story. First of all, this is just another tactic for them to try to literally just tarnish my son's character and everything. They do not want him having attorney visits in person, which will cause for ineffective counsel. So we went to court for that, and they took his phone calls and they have him locked down. They had no evidence whatsoever that his attorneys did anything wrong to prove these accusations, but they knew it would get picked up by the media. So when we get ready to pick a jury, hopefully within the next 2 weeks, it's gonna be, oh, this kid tried to escape. Oh, this kid tried to do all these things. This is all fake because they do not have a case.
Melly's mom mentions how the feds have no evidence against him. Prosecutors are just trying to make him look bad in front of the jury. Melly's music manager, 100K Track, would also defend Melly's mom in this situation, stating that Melly has great defenses on his side.
He built a real great solid team away from just being innocent because he wouldn't do such a crime. He prepared himself and got a proper, defense. Their job is to handle themselves in trial, not on social media. You guys are taking it that way. If they say they got DNA in a car, I'm just gonna tell you, Melly DNA was found in the car. You're gonna think, yeah, his DNA was found in the car the day of the. Oh, he jumped in a car and his DNA was in the car. He did it, okay? But you're not gonna put the fact that this was his car for 6-7 months on those documents and dockets and just automatically be like, yo, he's fried. You don't even know what the defense is. You don't even know what the rebuttal is. You don't even know why that situation occurred. You hear ballistics flying, you don't know what the defense is. You hear this, you hear that. You get what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be honest.
Now, it would end up being this very moment where rappers would begin reacting to YNW Melly, sharing their favorite moments with him on social media, as we would see Drake share this to his social media pages.
A kid like YNW Melly who just has the craziest melodies, pain in his voice, but not afraid to just be like, yeah, sure, I might be this way on road, but in my music, this is what I enjoy doing.
Then we would even see Kodak Black speaking on YNW Melly by sharing his favorite moment with him in the free world.
Yeah, man, free that boy Melvin, man, free Melly.
Man, stop playing. We're not playing like that. Oh, you go
Which would later even result in Lil Durk sharing a moment that he had with Melly, alongside King Von being in the same video.
Bust, you got 10 piece. Bust harder than mine. It's me. It's the I say, you got 10 piece. Sean.